In this video, I'm going to explain how the Turtle Splash deck in Premodern actually combos off and kills its opponent. So I'll goldfish this theoretical opening hand, and I'm going to actually represent the stack with physical tokens, kind of like if you have played on Moto or Magic Online. This is how we can represent activated and triggered abilities in a way that we'll be able to keep track of everything on the stack visually, and that will help us manage the fairly complex set of activated and triggered abilities that this deck takes advantage of. So with this opening hand, we can play this Ancient Tomb, tap it for 2 colorless mana, go down to 18 life, cast an Altar of Dementia. Altar of Dementia has an activated ability that we may sacrifice a creature to have target player mill cards equal to that creature's power. At this point, we pass the turn. When it's our turn again, we'll untap, we'll draw, it's a Lotus Petal. We'll play a Llanowar Wastes, we'll cast a Lotus Petal, and we'll tap out here, sacking the Lotus Petal for green mana. Ancient Tomb will put us down to 16 life, and we'll cast this Gamekeeper. Gamekeeper has a triggered ability when it dies that says, you may exile Gamekeeper from your graveyard. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card onto the battlefield, and the other revealed cards into your graveyard. With these 2 cards out, we're ready to attempt to combo off. We'll sacrifice Gamekeeper to Altar of Dementia, targeting ourselves, which puts an activated ability on the stack that will mill 2 cards when that eventually does resolve. But also, we have this Gamekeeper trigger, which we'll put on the stack. We may exile it from our graveyard. We're going to do that so that we get its trigger. And that can come off the stack because we're actually going to do that. So we reveal cards until we hit a creature. We hit Saprazzan Bailiff. And this is where the deck really takes advantage of the stack. Saprazzan Bailiff has an enters the battlefield ability, exile all artifact and enchantment cards from all graveyards that we'll put on the stack, but we don't want to resolve yet, so we'll retain priority. We'll sacrifice Saprazzan Bailiff to the Altar of Dementia, targeting our opponents, put that Altar of Dementia activated ability on the stack, and then Saprazzan Bailiff has a leaves the battlefield ability, which we'll put on the stack now as well, and that ability is return all artifact and enchantment cards from all graveyards to their owner's hands. At this point, we can finally pass priority. If our opponents don't respond, we'll resolve the stack. So first of all, we return all artifact and enchantments from all graveyards to their owner's hands. So we get back these 2 Lotus Petals. Then our opponent mills 2 cards. Then we exile all artifact and enchantment cards from all graveyards, which could matter here. Maybe our opponent just milled an artifact or an enchantment. And then we mill ourselves 2 cards. 1, 2. It's 2 City of Brass. That's not going to matter here. At this point, we're ready to enter a loop where we can just do what we just did over and over and over. So we'll cast the 2 Lotus Petals. We'll sacrifice them for black mana. We'll cast Animate Dead, targeting Saprazzan Bailiff in our graveyard. Now, Animate Dead has a wall of text, so I'm just going to read the Oracle text straight up. So it's an enchantment aura that says, enchant creature card in a graveyard. When Animate Dead enters the battlefield, if it's on the battlefield, it loses enchant creature card in a graveyard and gains enchant creature card put onto the battlefield with Animate Dead. Return enchanted creature card to the battlefield under your control and attach Animate Dead to it. When Animate Dead leaves the battlefield, that creature's controller sacrifices it. Enchanted creature gets -1, -0. Alright, so at the end of all of that, when the Animate Dead resolves, and then it actually has a trigger, the trigger resolves, we'll get Saprazzan Bailiff back from our graveyard onto the battlefield, which will put triggers on the stack again. So we put its enters the battlefield trigger on the stack, we retain priority, we sacrifice it to Altar of Dementia targeting our opponent, and we put its leaves the battlefield, Saprazzan Bailiff's leaves the battlefield trigger on the stack above that. And we pass priority, at which point the stack starts to empty, so we return all artifacts and enchantments from all graveyards to their owner's hands. We mill our opponent for one more card from the top of their library, and we exile all artifacts and enchantments from all graveyards. And we can just keep doing that over and over. So cast the Lotus Petals, sack the Lotus Petals, Animate Dead the Bailiff, sack the Bailiff to Altar of Dementia targeting our opponent, put all of this back on the stack, and we, one card at a time, we mill our opponent all the way until they have no cards left in their library, and ideally they go to their turn and try to draw from their empty library and lose the game because of that. So that's how the Turtle Splash combo deck tends to kill its opponent.